Imagine holding a thick, dense slab of ancient bronze in your hands. It is heavy, cold, and entirely solid. Now, imagine what happens when you strike the perfectly polished surface of that heavy metal with a harsh, concentrated beam of light. The solid bronze seems to instantly turn transparent, projecting a hidden, glowing, three-dimensional image straight through the metal onto the wall. Ancient engineers achieved this physical anomaly thousands of years ago, using nothing but metal and light to bypass what should be a solid barrier. These mysterious artifacts first appeared in ancient China as early as 2900 BCE. The artisans crafted them with two distinct sides. The back was incredibly heavy and intricate, cast with complex geometric patterns and raised animal motifs. The front side was entirely flat and polished to a brilliant shine, functioning exactly like the glass mirror sitting in your bathroom today. When held normally, they functioned flawlessly. But add direct sunlight, and observers watched the exact pattern from the back travel seemingly straight through inches of thick bronze onto a nearby surface. Production eventually stopped, and the exact methods used to create them were lost. For centuries, top scientists stared at these physical impossibilities, entirely incapable of explaining how they worked. In the 11th century, a Chinese scientist named Shen Kuo got his hands on 3 of these mirrors. Instead of accepting the illusion of transparency, he treated the artifact as a solvable mechanical puzzle. Shen Kuo spent his time obsessively studying the physical manufacturing process, paying specific attention to the fast cooling and tempering techniques used by the original bronze casters. He recognized that everyone else was starting from a false premise. The bronze wasn't letting light pass through, it was bouncing the light off. He theorized that as the thick and thin parts of the bronze cooled at different rates, the process created microscopic surface wrinkles on the supposedly flat front of the mirror. The front surface wasn't truly flat. Shen Kuo reasoned that the artisans were physically stamping a hidden structural barcode directly into the reflective metal. This animated diagram shows a 2D cross-section of the bronze mirror. Notice how the thick, blocky carvings on the back correspond perfectly to a series of wavy bumps and dips on the front reflective surface. If you run your hand across the front of the actual mirror, it feels perfectly smooth. These imperfections are so exceedingly shallow that they are completely undetectable to the human eye or touch, but light notices them. When straight, parallel beams of light strike these microscopic curves, the rays do not reflect straight back. They bounce off at slightly different intersecting angles. The light rays hit the microscopic dips and converge, concentrating into bright spots. They hit the bumps and scatter, creating dark spots. Together, these high and low light concentrations perfectly recreate the carved image on the wall. By manipulating the reflective surface at a microscopic scale, these artisans successfully utilized optical physics to create a sophisticated illusion. Shen Kuo had solved the physical riddle, but for hundreds of years his brilliant deduction remained just a theory. The world simply lacked the tools to measure something so infinitesimal. That finally changed in 1932, when a researcher named William Bragg decided to test the ancient claims. Using advanced laboratory optics, Bragg analyzed the bronze. He discovered the exact imperceptible surface wrinkles Shen Kuo predicted were genuinely etched into the metal. It took a 20th century scientist backed by modern laboratory equipment to finally validate an 11th century deduction about an optical device invented 4,000 years ago. While the secret of the transparent metal is no longer hidden, the mechanical precision required to create it presents a complex engineering achievement. These ancient artisans successfully executed microscopic optical engineering without computers, without microscopes, and without any formal understanding of modern photonics. They cast and polished heavy bronze slabs with such extraordinary physical precision that they were able to generate a secondary, completely invisible optical layer. The physical evidence of these mirrors reveals an ancient mastery over materials, proving that creators were successfully controlling light at a microscopic scale long before the development of modern optical theory.